to so many levels.
Yay.
Yay! We've been a few weeks without continuing this campaign, just due to various scheduling difficulties. But we're back tonight. We're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. And as soon as I tweet to show everybody that the stream is now working, just so you guys know, the last episode was called Snail and Sacrifice, but I mentioned to you guys how we mostly dealt with the snail part. So I'm titling this episode The Sacrifice Part.
The one with the sacrifices.
So I was going to do one like Always Sunny with the gang does this, but I realized the gang sacrifices or the gang gets sacrificed. Like however you phrase it, it's like a spoiler. All right, so
She's gonna be pissed.
well, let's recap where we left things off. At the beginning of last session, Amethyst was called away by Archdruid Evergreen for a special mission, and we're going to deal with that in just a moment. But in the meantime, the rest of the party decided to go snail hunting and had various incidents along the way. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and leave it with that, and we'll have Amethyst return, and they can fill her in as they see fit. But Amethyst, you followed Archdruid Evergreen through this glowing portal he created in the side of a tree, and as you emerge through this glowing tunnel, you find yourself coming out of a tree in the Druid's Grove back in Villanocta.
Okay.
And in fact, you're actually quite near one of these central Druid circles that they've got in the central, center of this grove. And you can see that there's been a lot of work being done here. A lot of plants have been brought and grown in around this circle to a very dense cluster of plant life in this little circle, much more than usual based on the last time you saw it. And in fact, you can see helping to produce this effect is your buddy Barry, who sees you and says, "Hi, Amethyst."
Hey, Barry.
So you find, as Archdruid Evergreen explains the plan here, he has told you about how he has been continuing to, well, we can just roleplay it. So, as Amethyst, I've continued my attempts to locate and discern the nature of this mysterious entity we encountered while doing an astral projection.
Oh, good.
And I have discovered some information, but I believe that there is a barrier to learning more that I need your help to penetrate.
Okay.
What I have discovered is that this entity does not seem to exist in a single place or a single dimension. We encountered it in one location, but that seems to occur when it manages to focus its energy to concentrate itself into one place. When it relaxes this focus, it seems to distribute itself throughout all planes and in all locations. It is not clear what allows it to maintain this focus and why it could not, for example, appear right next to us at any time. But it does seem to have its energy distributed across infinite planes, and in fact, all the space within each plane. It has
Okay.
been spread out. Now, that said, in order to study it more closely, we need something to attract its focus. Because this has worked with you in the past, I have hope that we can magically create a beacon of sorts that will attract it. However, we were wary of approaching it last time because we don't know precisely what it can do. But I believe I've discerned the nature of its power, or not necessarily how it manages to do this, but it is able to draw on life energy. And I, through the means of this spell, will be able to create a buffer around you, so that any attempt that it makes to draw your life energy will be shunted around you, and you will be safe while it is attempting to drain you. And I hope that this close contact will allow us to study it in more detail.
I am definitely intrigued and definitely down.
Very good. I cannot promise 100% safety, but I am confident that the spell will work at least at first, and if it seems to be failing, we will pull out immediately.
I have full faith in you.
Thank you. So he makes the remainder of the preparations. He gives you a tea that he is steeped with various herbs, and you sit together, and he prepares to have you both go astral projecting again.
Woo!
You find your awareness expanding further and further, the boundaries of your awareness, as though you can now sense at a distance the entire material plane, but then there's a splitting, a severing, and you find yourself adrift in a void. And you don't precisely hear his voice, but the Archdruid tells you that he's going to take you back to the Beastlands where you first encountered this thing.
Okay.
And so you find yourself once again soaring over this sort of majestic savanna, these grasslands with hills and tall grass as far as the eye can see. And he tells you, I will activate the beacon now, and I believe that it will appear almost immediately. When it does, it will probably try to get close to you as it did before. It may even try to touch you. I believe this is the contact we will need. Once it touches you, you will be protected by my spell, but I believe that contact will allow you to discern its nature in greater detail. Are you ready?
If it does reach out for me, can I do anything to protect myself? Am I able to cast spells and the like?
You are currently in your astral self. You are not present within the plane. And so your spells may not work exactly as you expect. I don't think that you will need to cast them, but if you feel that you are in imminent danger, by all means do what you feel is necessary.
Gotcha.
However, as I have said, I have deduced the nature of what effect it has on the entities it encounters. It is this drawing of life energy, as I mentioned, and my spell will channel life energy around you so it is unable to tap into yours.
Okay. Okay, let's do it.
All right. And he says, I am now going to It's very I've tapped into some of the arcane magic, so it's difficult to explain, but essentially I will be broadcasting your essence now. And you find yourself this slightly see-through spectral version of your body that you're currently floating in start to glow and get very bright. Your vision adjusts, but so you can still see, and you can see that your light, even though it seems very bright, does not seem to be reaching the land around you. You're still not quite present in a physical way there. But as you start to glow, you hear a hissing sound, and it's behind you. As you make your way, you turn effortlessly in place, and you see this figure once again, this humanoid shaped hole in space, at once a silhouette of stars, next burning fire, next frigid winds and flickering almost too fast to see. And it's coming closer.
Of course it is. I'm a beacon.
And as it approaches, it's moving towards you closer and closer. It is, relatively speaking, from a proportional sense, it's only a few feet away now, and it is reaching out a hand to you. I need your form.
Okay, Mark, you're freaking me out. You can't have my form.
It's continuing to approach with the hand extended. Are you moving away, or?
I'm definitely backing away, but at its pace.
It's just still coming towards you.
Why do you want this?
I need your form. It's moving faster. You hear Archdruid Evergreen in your head saying, "This is what we needed. Allow it to make contact."
Okay. So I'm going to fight every instinct that I've learned in the forest. And I'm going to just reach an arm out and let it touch me.
You do, and as this figure reaches out and seizes your forearm with its hands, at first you feel a brief cold, almost like you've just had polar ice placed against your bare skin. But then you feel almost like you're standing in a raging river with energy blowing past you and across your skin, and it takes up. You feel it flowing around you and into this creature. And as it does, it seems to have a slightly more distinct shape. The flickering is less erratic. It is still going from one view to another, but it's more rhythmic now. It's more regular. It does not feel random or frantic in quite the same way. The thing seems to be somewhat less agitated. Its demeanor seems calmer, and it just says, "Thank you." How is this happening?
I don't know. Do you have a name?
I did. It's hard to remember. All has been lost. More than a moment has been stolen.
What can I do to help you?
I need form. So empty. My form, my mass has been stolen. My mind has been stolen by the betrayer. The
The betrayer.
must be stopped.
Who's
All
the betrayer?
depends on it.
Can you tell me who the betrayer is?
They speak in words that sound wise, but there is deception behind them, dating back centuries. They are not even aware of the extent of their lies.
Whoa. um, I don't. What is it that you need for form to have the form that you need returned?
It starts like grabbing your arm a little tighter, and you feel this current of energy that's rushing past you start to increase, and it's starting to, yes, energy, matter, concentration, condensation. And as it's getting more agitated now, you start to see little details filling in almost faintly, and you are starting to get hints of like facial features. But you hear Archdruid Evergreen say, What's happening? This is too much. I have to pull you out."
Just a little longer. It seems to be helping.
"Okay,
Are
let
you-
me know
do
the
you remember
instant." And this thing is starting to form its face. You see snarl of frustration, furrowed brow, a mouth, and like the hint of clothing. And you start to see it's Zorath, the wizard, that had the stolen moment. And then all of a sudden, the world rushes past you, and you find yourself falling backwards there back in the Druid's Grove in Villanocta. But you realize, as you open your eyes and look around you, that this lush concentration of plants that had been grown around in this circle is now all brittle and dead. And you see the Archdruid sitting across from you, looking a little bit pale. "Are you all right?"
Yeah, I think I am. I think I'm fine. Thank you for the protection that you granted me.
"Of course. I'm glad it was enough. I took extra precaution, and it turned out that it was all necessary."
Sorry about that. There was a little bit of progress on identifying the person, so I just had to kind of let it play out. Were
Progress.
you able to see?
I could not see. I had to concentrate on the spell. What did you observe?
So it was Zorath himself, the person that the wizard, and you guys, I know your mics are silent, but Starla and Chooch, if I get any details wrong, correct me, because I'll get them wrong.
No worries.
But Zorath is the one that, he's the one that we interrupted with the stolen moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so I just
So-
kind of relay that.
That is... It raises additional questions, to be sure. I cannot pretend to have any real understanding of the stolen moment or how it functions. It is arcane magic rather than natural or spiritual. Melicanth is the one that, if anyone would know about it, it is her, and yet I believe it contains many mysteries even to her.
Yeah, she's been working on a few things for us in regards to it.
But
Definitely interesting information to share.
from what I understand, if it stole a moment in time, as is my understanding, it must have had to do that from all dimensions, all planes at once, in order to prevent an imbalance, which could go some way towards explaining how this entity seems to be spread across all of these different dimensions. Perhaps it is unable to control that ability, but increasingly is more able, is learning. I will have to study this further, but simply knowing that it seems to contain the consciousness of an entity, a life form once existed on the material plane, I will do further study.
I think that the caution that you showed is something to continue, because it's definitely very determined. It's working really, really hard to pull itself back together. And it knows that, touching me and pulling my life energy is the way to get stronger, because that's what brought it into focus. So keep being careful.
Of course, I will. Thank you for your assistance.
Anytime, absolutely. This is not only fascinating, but it's clearly tied to me and my crew. So something that we're really interested in.
And it appears to be powerful enough that it could well have a wide impact if it ever was able to better concentrate its forces.
Agreed. It's definitely a threat that we need to try and figure out how to tackle.
Yes.
Before it gets here and can do damage.
I will study further, and I will consult with Melicanth now that we have more information. I'm able to return you to your friends now if you wish, or is there anything else you would care to do here in Villanocta?
Well, I have a feeling I know what they're up to, so I'm not in a big rush, but I should probably get back and see if any of them need a heal.
So by this time, you realize that it is early evening. You've spent the most of the day preparing for this, and in fact, even just what felt like only a few moments in the astral plane, you do recognize now that you look that several hours went by while that was happening. Once you kind of have stood up and looked around too, you realize that the effect that sapped all of the energy out of the plants around this circle actually extends beyond the circle to another 30 yards or so. This 30-yard radius circle all around this space where everything is just dead.
And so I ask him, obviously this was a part of the protection spell. That the life energy that he drained wasn't from me; it was from all of this that you put around us.
Yes. But we can heal. We can heal these plants and restore the balance to this location. We would not be able to do the same for you necessarily.
Right.
We were able to share the load, so to speak, by distributing the energy drawn across all of these different life forms. We were able to prevent the utter destruction that could have resulted otherwise.
I would like to contribute to the restoration of the life here that was, protecting my own, and cast plant growth in the area.
Yeah, he smiles and he kind of, as you like. It is
A little baby
always
boost.
welcome. And as you cast the spell, you do see new shoots of grass beginning to grow up through the the dead brown grass, you see withered vines become vital again, and new leaves budding on the trees.
Much better.
I agree. And then Barry, you find just all of a sudden great big arms giving you a bear hug from behind and picking you up off your feet. He's like, "Oh my God, that was amazing!"
And I turn around, squiggle around, and give him a big hug and say, "You're amazing."
Oh, I didn't do anything, but wow, you're just, yeah, you're awesome.
Thanks, Barry.
The Archdruid looks a little bit awkward now and is like, "So, did you want to return to your friends now, or?" He looks a little bit like he
Yeah.
might want to hug too, but he isn't going to say so.
Oh, really? Oh, does he kind of look like he might want to? Because you know me, that's all it takes. So I kind of reach over and I give him a little gentle hug around the shoulders and say, "Yeah, I think I'm going to go back."
And he's a little stiff at first, just like he's kind of not used to admitting to this sort of thing, but yeah. And he accepts the hug and then guides you to one of the larger nearby trees and casts a spell that someday you will be able to cast too. And once again, a glowing portal emerges from this tree, and he says, "That should be the nearest large tree to your friends."
Thank you, Archdruid. I appreciate all that you're doing to help us solve this mystery.
Yes, and I promise to let you know as soon as I know more. Now, sorry to rush, but we do have to hurry. It will only stay open for a few more seconds, so...
Wave. I've got a peace sign and I dive through.
All right. So you find that you emerge in forest. You don't see your friends in the immediate vicinity, but as you kind of open your mind to the natural energy around you and kind of look around, you do see in the sky smoke from a campfire in one direction.
So I set my feet in that direction and start walking.
All right. So as you emerge on the campsite, you see somewhat slightly grisly sight here, because one of the first things that you notice at this camp is the skinned carcass of a large animal that probably weighed upwards of 1,000 pounds. It was like 10 feet across, like four-legged, creature of some kind. And then off to one side, you see a brilliantly glowing pearlescent snail shell sitting to one side. And then you see your companions sitting around a campfire, Otterkey looking a little bit dopier than usual.
More than usual? I mean, he's usually singed and screaming about some god or another.
Yeah. So on that note, Archie, yeah, you are still affected by this potion, and you're not presently able to speak.
So I assume that I see a snail shell, but not a snail attached. Am I to assume by the size
you
of the
only
shell
see
that
the
it's a
shell,
critter?
but it's a big shell. You didn't like poke around inside, but yeah, you don't see snail parts. You just see the shell.
Okay. So
And
what's up, guys?
Andrew waves and says,
Hey!
"Not
Oh,
much.
hey.
How about you?"
How was your trip?
It was
Since you do,
good.
tell us all about it.
Oh, no. This looks like a story that needs telling. I'm dying to know what that was, and how's the snail doing?
Okay, so what happened was,
There's this really mean lady here.
yeah, totally mean.
Nira?
Gotta
Yeah.
jump in. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was, come on.
That's not wrong.
Okay, so first we came across a pair of kobolds, and one of them had been stabbed, so we helped them, right? And they told us about this mean lady.
I bought some glass on a broken cart.
Yes.
It's a good thing.
So this lady wanted to know about the snail, and being super helpful, we helped them. I healed them, and then when we went after the mean lady, and that was our intention, was to only go after her. I swear, my hand to Rushama.
During all of this, you notice Otterkey miming the various actions as Nira tells the story.
So she wasn't very nice, and well, I mean, we had to take care of business, like we do, and well, long story short, the snail kind of ended up attacking us, and then it was screaming at us, and then this other thing showed up, and that's the big carcass over there, but it makes great armor is the thing, and so I've been helping Andre prepare the hide so that we can make armor later, because my chain shirt here is kind of a mess.
Andre holds up the the leather skinned from the creature, and it does look like very tough leather, and she says, "Yeah, it's bullet hide. It can be used to make pretty good leather armor."
Great.
So the snail was kind of collateral damage, and really sorry.
I didn't hurt
not
it at
the
all.
I'm not the dead snail. You don't have to apologize to me. You guys, I mean, collateral, whatever. You guys were gonna. I mean, let's be honest. It's not a sad thing for you. You're richer for it. So, I mean, you don't have to apologize to me for being happy that you got what you wanted.
I'm itchier for it. This sort of glass strands are everywhere. And I mean everywhere.
Well,
You can't
you
take
did
this
sort
armor
of
off?
splatter it with your hammer, so
I was just trying to help it leave the shell.
Sounds like that self-defense that it had is really effective to a point.
Yeah.
Sorry about
This
the
armor-
glass strands. I'm sure it feels terrible.
It's
just like
probably
hell.
notable too that Otterkey is not speaking still.
oh, he had one of those funny potions.
Well, maybe
In
you
case
should
you were
heal
wondering.
him. You should maybe heal him or something, or
He didn't run off into the woods. I figured it was all right.
I sort of expended a lot of my heals, so or a lot of my spells. So we're resting up.
so I walk over and I cast. Will Cure Wounds help him? I don't understand what he's got on him.
Well, so yeah, I mean, you can. I don't know what your HP is at right now, Archie, but
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, it's just
39
hit points. Cure Wounds looks like it's just hit
Yeah.
points. So
yeah,
what's
so
the
you
effect
could
on him?
you could cast that, and he does look like some of his lingering wounds heal themselves up a little bit, but you get the sense that whatever this effect that he's got on him is may need something more along the lines of lesser restoration or something like that.
Yeah, and I can't do that right now.
That's a shame.
Well, I mean,
That'll
I
be
could
fine.
cast Healing Word 3 times, but that's about it.
He's tougher than he looks.
So those of you only listening to the audio podcast version of it, you're missing all this great physical comedy right now.
There's a lot of screeching.
Yeah, it's all kinds of. It's like fibers of glass. It's terrible. I don't understand. I've thrown my armor down on the ground. I'm stretching out once again. This is kind of better. I kind of got used to it.
Oh, sorry, I don't have lesser restoration or blow dry or rinse or anything like that handy. Sounds like you guys are just gonna have
I
to
got
suffer
this.
through the night. And
Everything prestidigitation.
maybe buy
Clearing off areas.
So it is, it is getting dark now. Are you guys setting watches or anything?
Well, I think that's a good idea.
Well, I want to hear what you were up to, Amethyst. I mean, is it really secret
call out
druid
a-
business?
Is it what?
Secret druid business.
What is it? Oh, no, it's something, it's definitely something that I need to share with everybody. But are we safe here? Do we need to set up a guard while we talk and you guys wash the entrails off of yourselves?
Andrew says I can keep watch.
I'll take a turn when it's my turn.
Yeah.
So can Archie understand us at all? I mean,
Oh yeah, he hears just fine. It's just his mouth's not working right now.
okay. Well, you guys were all here on the whole thing, so I'm just going to tell them
So
everything.
yeah,
that
you fill them in on what you discovered in your astral journey.
Wait, so who's this Zorath guy?
Oh man.
Go
You
ahead,
know,
Nara.
really, he has no one to be mad at but himself. I mean, come on.
Like, why? What do you do?
Agreed.
He's the one that took the stolen moment and started, doing his
Everything.
wizard things. And he's the one that we stopped and we
Okay.
thought he was dead.
You mean I'm still trying to get over this moment thing. So he pulled a moment out of the world?
No, that was Melicanth had used the stolen moment to stop this ritual. Which I'm
Okay,
still
so-
mad about.
So she pulled it out of the world?
Well, according to Amethyst, from what she learned, it's across all of the different planes
Dimensions,
of existence.
planes, yeah.
How powerful is this person anyway?
Well, she did it with, it wasn't just her, it was her with someone else, I think. So luckily it wasn't just one person's decision.
Well, and I think it was more the object itself that was the most powerful, not necessarily Melicanth, because let's be
Right.
honest, she didn't know what she was doing.
Okay, so
Right.
where did the thing come from?
that happens a lot.
Like, did it just sort of come into being when she said, I want a moment? And then the universe took her literally?
Not sure.
Yeah, she must have gotten it from somewhere,
Huh.
but she was not forthcoming on that information.
So is this likely to happen again? Like something
God, I hope not.
is just sort of going to take a moment and the whole universe is just going to skip. Like,
We don't know.
Do clocks break? Like, do they just skip over that moment?
We don't
Or
know.
is it,
We literally don't have any idea the effect that it had on anything else other than what we know of and what we can repair. The fissure in the lake, like the one that was in the Copper Beard mines. Those are things that happened because of the stolen moment, because we stopped Zorath. That break in
So-
time happened.
So by repairing those, are you putting the moment back? And if you put the moment back, what happens?
I feel like it's more like we're reassembling
yeah.
the thing that was taken, like how it was before Zorath messed with it. Maybe
It's like
it's hard to say.
it seems
Oh,
like
wait.
the things are a crack that are coming through from somewhere else, and we're healing the. You're cracking me up, Archie. And so we're healing them, so those things stop coming through, and that kind of energy force isn't open to other planes. Do I have that right, Christiana? Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
It's like a crack stuff's coming through.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
to some extent,
so-
I'm not like telling you the real answer, but that's
Well, no,
that-
just what
yeah.
you told us.
Based
so
on
far,
what you
'cause
know,
we're-
that seems to be approximately what's happening.
Okay.
All right. And Zorath, he was the one that got stopped and stomped by the moment.
We stopped him.
We think he had something to do, I think, with the original moment that was stolen.
And
Didn't
now you talked to him
I don't remember.
without a body. Or was it him?
So what you guys did know is that, like, way back at the start of your adventure, that Travis Fletcher was attempting to transport this thing incognito for Melicanth. He was bringing it to her, and it was stolen by Zorath. And once you tracked it down and interrupted his ritual, that's when it blew up, and you woke up 100 years in the future.
But in his stalling of trying to restore this moment, It seemed to me that he had some connection with it when it was originally.
Yeah,
Created.
you did see someone that looked like it might have been a younger version of him when you had that flashback to the original.
I wasn't sure if
So-
that was confirmed or not, so I was trying to talk around it.
You don't have any other explanation but that seems likely. He didn't confirm that piece of it or anything.
So basically, we haven't had time to look into the other effects and the other impact and stuff like that that's happened because we've been literally closing fissures kind of since we came out of the little cave thingy in the first place.
So is Zora stuck and trying to escape, or are you trying to help him be again? I don't get
I
that.
was
I'm not on board with that one.
okay, but I didn't know for sure who that was at that point, and I saw somebody in pain and trying to communicate, and so I just was trying to figure out how to get them to talk. So I'm not saying I'm here to help Zorath. I'm saying I didn't know who that was exactly at that moment.
Oh, okay.
And so, my compassion came through. Whoops. But, it led to us finding out who it was, that same compassion. So I don't feel bad for it. And I don't feel like I made a vow that I have a problem breaking.
I mean, he sounded like he was in pain.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's-
it looked pretty miserable.
Well, time and space exploded in his face, so I can't
Yeah,
imagine
and-
that would feel good.
and he's in
Yeah, it's
pieces.
glass stuff's bad enough.
And so, well, I think that the thing to take from this is that he's probably pretty pissed and he's not going to use any measure of control if he does come back to our plane or any other plane. And I think that it's something for us to ponder on trying to figure out how to stop him before he can try and come get revenge on us. Thank you, Archie.
the hand subtitles kind of work, actually.
Yep. Are those precog antennas and not actually horns there, Archie? No?
It's a shame he doesn't know.
I
So
think his head just exploded. I think that's what he said.
yeah, so it's definitely getting dark. Are you guys turning in for a long rest?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could
so
take
we've,
turns watching.
Yeah, schedule watches and do our thing.
All right.
So, but I do need to do my nightly devotional
All
thingy.
right. Yep.
Then I do.
Can I just ask in general, are you guys done with this little fun butchering job you're doing here? Or can we go on to the lake, or are you guys
Andrew
gonna
says,
go
"Well,
run to the
we
bank?
still need to figure out what to do with this shell. It's big."
We were going to contact what's her face and see if we could have it shipped. I think.
I'm pretty tired. Why don't we figure it out in the morning?
Because I need to know what spells to prepare.
Oh, that's
if
a
we're
good
going
point.
to a city, I need a certain
Yeah.
set of spells. If we're going to a lake to heal a fissure, I need a different set
Yeah,
of
if
spells.
that's the case, I'm gonna need to prepare sending. If we need to contact, why am I blanking on her name?
Madrigal.
Because she's evil.
Madrigal. Yes, Madrigal.
Well, Andrea had suggested that if you were going to find somewhere to send it from, you could do that from, say, either Senshin or Elamancha, the two cities that are adjacent to the lake, if you feel like that's a safe place to do so. She would also advise you, though, that, I mean, long distance shipping of extremely valuable objects doesn't always go great. Meaning it's a risky thing.
Well, I'd hate to come all the way down here
We can probably get a
to
wagon
not hit the lake.
and just strap it on the wagon, drag it with us.
Oh, I'm not literally going to go back to Villanocta. I mean, I'm going to the lake. I don't really care what happens with the shell. That's not my problem. So I just, what do you guys, do you want to?
Can we at least put the leather in the bag of holding?
Absolutely. I'm all about, protection and such things.
And very
It's all
nicely
clean
done,
and-
Betty Andre. It looks wonderful.
Thank you. It'll look nicer when it doesn't have goop all over it.
Absolutely.
All right, so you guys are turning in. I'll say that you arrange for watches, but Nira is up for a little bit doing her nightly devotion.
Yes. Okay. Rushama, your humble spirit comes, or your humble servant comes before you, offering my knowledge gained from today. So, Amethyst has brought us interesting information. This entity, this hole in space, is apparently used to be Zorath, the wizard we encountered when all of this started. He seems to have lost his form and is sort of a hole in all of existence across all these different planes. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do about that, but we are tackling one thing at a time, and it looks like tomorrow we'll be headed to the lake for another fissure. But that's what I have for you today.
You feel the oncoming pressure on this connection, and you hear Rushama's voice say, "Although this wizard is not to be trusted, he also spoke of a betrayer and said that all depends on stopping them. We must also find the identity of this betrayer."
We will definitely be looking into that.
All right. So, in the morning, you guys feel much better. Archie, you feel a lot better, and you can once again speak. You no longer are suffering the effects of concussion plus counterfeit potion.
Woohoo! La 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 la.
Wait, it makes you sing now? Is that the hangover version?
Just testing it out here.
So you're feeling better then?
Much. Yes, much better.
Good.
Out of character, I can't remember if my steed was
It was,
destroyed. I
yeah,
might-
it was poofed from you.
Okay.
You'll have to recast
Cool.
the spell.
Oh,
Also, the other thing that didn't get mentioned is that Amethyst's, or excuse me, Nero's horse was killed in the fighting.
Holy cow.
It wasn't pretty.
We didn't skin it. I'm just saying. Like we could have. Amethyst, can I put this in that bag of holding of yours, and I take the armor? It's still kind of spiny with glass and crap.
Sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure I don't think I'm anywhere near a weight limit in this thing.
Andrew
How much-
just observes and says, "You're putting your family armor. I mean, we could probably clean the glass off."
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't really feel like it fits again. I mean, I wore nothing for 4 years, and I don't know if I really want to be identified with the family for a little while. Not until father makes a few right things, and besides, I don't want to be known as his son for a while. I just want to be me. I don't have to work this time. I don't have to wave the family flag. I can just wander where I will and meet interesting people and have them attack me. But that part was unexpected.
That sounds brilliant. I'm happy to help with that. And
Besides, it
put-
makes too much noise anyway. So
Right.
Well,
Awesome.
hey, do what feels right. I know that that stuff looks way too heavy for me. I don't mean just like your set. I mean like heavy armor. I just I like to be able to move.
I mean, you get used to it, but I kind of get used to not having it. So I'm kind of used to both things, and neither one of them really feels like it's right. But I don't know. I'll get you something maybe later that'll fit you, a little heavier than that thin little leather you're wearing.
I'm okay, but thanks. I'm gonna get some bullet hide armor.
Oh, yeah, that works. All right, shall we break camp?
So who did you run into that had glass on a wagon? You mentioned.
Oh, Zuba and Tuba. A couple of
Yeah, some little
kobolds.
lizard folk.
So where do they get? Were they the kobolds?
Yeah.
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 Where did they get the
So-
glass? Was it snail glass?
Yeah, it seems like the snail slime turns into glass when it hardens.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, we left them. A few miles back that way. Andrew points.
We could figure out how to make another wheel. We could take their wagon.
Well, I was gonna say
The
if,
shell is
since
going to fit on that, though.
You
Well,
would
I was
think
gonna-
that if it didn't have any of the glass on it, that it would be about right. It wouldn't be the best. Like you don't think it would be great for a long journey necessarily, but it would
Well, hey, and
be
we-
better than trying to just carry it.
We can put the
So-
glass in that bag of yours too, because it's technically mine. I mean, I bought it.
so my question is, can we get these two kobolds that were making money and probably their household income from the snail that's now gone? Maybe
They've
we
been
can-
taken care of.
So, anyways, like I
Andrew
was
kind of
saying,
laughs, is like, "Oh yeah, I think they're going to be okay." Alaric was very generous.
Well, I just didn't know the price of glass, and they were talking pigs.
finishing my thought was that maybe if they were nearby, they could help you get rid of, get the shell where you want it, so it doesn't just sit here and rot now that you've killed it and waste it.
I don't think that's a good idea.
So, what are you going to do? Are you just going to leave the shell here then?
Well, no, I mean, me and Nauderky can probably roll it for a while. It's pretty tough. And then once we get, like, I don't know, the wagon or something, we can put it in that. We could cut some trees maybe and drag it along behind us or
Sweet
something.
staff of Lenamara. How much does this shell weigh? How much does it weigh,
It's like
Christiana?
250 pounds.
Okay, so I summon
that
some
it?
fucking giant owls, and they swoop in and they take it to goddamn Madrigal. We're done with this goddamn shell. Fuck you, people.
That works.
Do not anger the druid. So, let's see. Are you actually casting the spell, or are you?
I am, because these fools that did no research before we got here had no plan to get out here, and I'm not going to leave a creature's shell that they
came right
killed it
for us.
for, that they came to hunt and kill it for. I'm not going to let it now rot on the ground. So, yes, I'm casting the
right for us.
goddamn spell.
Okay, so you have cast the spell, and these 4 giant owls appear within your camp, and they kind of land on the ground and they look at you.
And so I asked Nira, where do you want them? Do you want them to go straight to Madrigal? What do you want?
I'm not really sure that it's a good idea to deliver the product without getting paid.
Well, you guys had no plan, so we're taking one now. So where do you want them to go? I'm helping you with this dead carcass. I like animals more than people, and y'all are pressing my last nerve about not caring about what to do with this dead animal now that it's dead.
Amethyst, you do know that these owls will only last an hour, and that you're probably longer than an hour flight time away from Villanocta.
Yep. So do you want to reconsider the kobolds again, or what do you want to?
I mean, if they're around, they can help, I guess. It's only
Over
250,
and
but I can probably
lean up on the owls and just like look at them like, can you believe this shit? Sorry,
Really?
guys. Hold, please.
Bury it and come back for it?
That would be what I would think of too.
It doesn't weigh that much.
Bury it and
Give it
then
a try. See if I can heft it up.
Let's see. What's your
Heft it up to
remember
what?
exactly how the
What are you going
carry.
to put it on? I thought the wagon was broken.
Well, I'll just haul it along or something.
Let's see. Your carrying capacity is your strength score multiplied by 15. So what's your strength score?
16.
16 times 15. That's 240. So I would say if you were not carrying any of the rest of your gear, you could kind of just barely manage it, Alaric.
I can carry 270.
I mean, I said we could roll it. It's tough. Or were we going to drag it behind a horse or something? Or maybe that would break it. I don't know. I've never tried to carry a shell before. Well, if your things last for a while,
So
we could
here's
have
what I
them
can
carry
do.
it to the city or whatever, and then get a wagon, and then we can drag it from there on the wagon. Sure,
Here's
get a
what I
wagon.
can do. I can send a message to Madrigal saying I can tell her about the farm that we cleared, and I can ask. Let's see, we have the shell. Please advise on delivery. That's I could do that, and she might have something better for us.
Ask if she needs
Maybe
it
a
in one
contact.
piece.
She might have a contact in a nearby city that could negotiate on her behalf.
True.
It's okay.
That's
I
the
got
best
it.
that I've got.
Not a problem.
Or
That's what I'm
ask
walking along.
if one of those towns is acceptable for delivery.
Okay. So I'm going to cast sending
All right.
to Madrigal. That's not part of the message. Obviously, it's to her. Okay.
Dear
To Madrigal,
Madrigal.
stop.
Yeah, it's like a telegraph. Farm clear. Well, I have to think about this because I have to count words. Farm clear.
So I lean over to Andrea and whisper in her ear, and we walk over to the owls, and we come back, and we just go for a ride around the little area and the trees and stuff, circling the owls, just to tell them while they figure this out.
Your audio is kind of breaking up, but I did catch that, and Andrea is very on board with this plan. You guys, you do some scouting of the broader area by flying
Yes,
around on these giant owls for a while.
I'm watching for danger.
While you're up there, Andrea kind of confesses to you, is like, I didn't want to kill the snail, but it was kind of a confusing situation.
Oh, yeah. I had no doubt that there would be a confusing situation that would result in the snail being dead. I kind of knew that. And that's why I didn't hesitate to go when Archdruid, you know. I certainly am glad, and I'll go with Archdruid anytime he shows up now that I know the kind of information that we can get.
Well, yeah, I wanted to just say that I kind of get what your feeling about it was. That like it wasn't, we don't have to kill things just because. I mean, we killed the boulette because we had to defend ourselves. I mean, it was unavoidable. But I'm kind of with you that I would prefer we not take too many trophy hunting gigs. I kind of signed on for the big deal, big damn hero Fisher closing business. If you follow me.
Okay, I have my message.
Yeah. All right. So I think we're dealing with audio over there anyway. So message.
All right. My message to Madrigal. Farm clear and up and running. In possession of shell. Very large. Advise on transport. Reply 25 words. I think there's a reply, right?
Yeah.
That she can.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
You didn't say where you were.
Oh. What was the name of the place?
So okay, but that was the message she sent.
Okay. Yeah.
The reply you get is good to hear about the farm. Deliver snail to nearest town. I have people everywhere. They can give you your payment too.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, and it sounds
Okay.
perfect.
I'm sorry. As soon as you said, like Andrew said, I just want you to know.
Oh,
I look over and Chooch has pulled a cable because he's trying to fix whatever thing you heard.
That's all right. Well,
So I didn't
you
hear
sound better
anything
now,
you
so that's
said.
fixed. But basically, Andrea was just telling you that she kind of signed on for the Fisher closing, saving the
Yeah.
world stuff, and that she was kind of hoping for not doing any more trophy. Like she could, if she wanted to be a trophy hunter, she could have been doing that a long time ago.
Oh, well, so then I reply to Andrew, well, next time I'll just take you with me, maybe.
It's like she's like, oh, that'd be cool. I've never traveled through a tree before.
Right? Sounds fun, and it is.
Okay, guys, I got a reply. We are supposed to take the shell to the nearest town, and Magic Girl has contacts all over the place, and they can arrange payment for us.
That's not the slight bit disturbing.
Let's
Right?
Test
By that I
this
mean
road
really
theory.
disturbing.
See what I mean?
Well, what if one side of the shell is hung off the saddle of my horse, and then I'm just carrying the other side of it, walking beside the horse, and then me and the horse we can carry it. Oh,
I know that this is a puzzle that you want to solve, but what if we just have the owls fly them to the nearest town, which is hopefully within an hour of flight, or 50 minutes, or whatever's left?
But they can't go unaccompanied, is the thing. Like, they'd just be dropping a shell in the middle of a town, and
Well, Mira doesn't have a horse. Perhaps she could ride along.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a horse.
Because if the shell only weighs 250, they can carry way more than that.
well, you've already been riding
Carry
around
near it
on
too.
them,
Well, so with all of them, they can. Just using this little mechanic here, one owl can carry 195 pounds.
Yep.
So you could have more than one, but it's owls are not optimally designed to be able to carry things together.
Nope.
So if we had like a net,
Andrew's like, perhaps you could run it on a line.
Let's go get the wagon, and we'll see if we can fix it and take it with us.
As you ride back to where you left the wagon, you find it abandoned. No sign of Zuba or Tuba. Most of the bigger pieces of glass have been, taken with them apparently. But the wagon with one
Yeah.
broken wheel.
those little scamps. I paid for that with my own pork money.
Andrew says, that isn't actually the deal you made.
Oh, wasn't it?
No, the deal you made was to make it up to them somehow. It was not really clear.
I
But
thought I bought the glass to make it up to them, but all right. I guess
you
I
did kind of
heard
just
that.
leave it there. It was not an obvious part of the transaction.
the wagon was broken. It was the all right.
Besides, they're kobolds, so I mean, you kind of left it unintended. I
Yeah.
don't want to
Not
be,
too
like
surprising.
prejudiced or anything. They seemed nice enough, but
And it could have been somebody else came along and thought it looked like a good idea.
Maybe it'll make something nice out of the glass.
you do think that this wagon is big enough that if pulled by a horse, if you can fix the wheel or some equivalent, then it'll get you there for a while. Meaning it's not
Well, we
super
can-
sturdy, but it might be enough.
See if we can kind of do the original idea where we hook a horse up to the front, and then
Yeah,
I'll
fix the leg.
pick up the axle and see if I can just walk with the axle and act as a wheel.
It's okay when he does it.
Well, you were talking about I think later upon re-listening, I was better able to follow what you were saying. I thought you were literally like it's stationary and you prop up the wheel with a 2x4 and then somehow just pull the wagon, as opposed to maybe holding a piece of wood
Well, I
that
mean,
the axle is resting on.
two things. The kobolds didn't have horses, right?
The wagon seems like it was probably sized for like goats or something.
Right, but they didn't have a goat, so they were pulling it themselves.
Whatever it was may have run off. There was
Okay.
like straps for harness though.
All right. Well, in any case, we can do that.
After fiddling around with it for a little while, you guys spend a few hours bringing the wagon back. You figure out that you're able to move pretty slow, but functional. You know, if you're able to move at walking speed by trying to carry the axle.
Oh, good, because that's all I got is walking.
Yeah. So you get the feeling that if you spend some time, you might be able to, to rig up sort of a, something. But right now, you guys are going to be kind of moving slower, but you're able to carry the shell on this little makeshift wagon.
And
have-
I can swap out with Otterkey when we need to.
Have you resummoned Vengeance, Archie?
I suppose not. We don't really need him right now.
Okay. So you guys, I was going to pull up a copy of the map, but you guys were not too far. Were you continuing in the direction of Lake Elamon?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, the closest city.
right. So what Andrew tells you is that Elamantia is the one that she's more familiar with. It's the one that's traded with more with Villanacta, just because it's kind of on the northwest side. She gathers that one is actually going to be a little bit farther away from where you guys are compared to Senshin, because you have to go around the north side of the lake, but that's the one she knows better. So she's kind of letting you guys decide which you think is the the one to do. I'm gonna pull up the map here for you in a minute. I'm gonna have it. But yeah, so you guys have, at this pace, probably another couple of days to get to either one.
Okay. Yeah, if it's not a huge time difference, I suppose the one she's comfortable with makes sense.
Let's
She
see.
knows.
I'm gonna briefly show you guys the map here. So right now, you guys are kind of here, right? And Elamantia is here, and Senshin is here. I can make the map have those labels on it eventually, I suppose.
Cool.
So if you guys are planning then to head your way towards Elamantia, then
Sounds
you
good.
get on your way, and you have a long day of travel, and it's a little awkward, still kind of figuring out like what's the simplest way to do this, and it's a little bit of an awkward motion. Your arms are getting a little tired just from this, and you're moving a little slow, but you guys are starting to kind of figure out what it takes to do this, to travel this way. And you're traveling mostly across grasslands here too, so you don't really have like a very defined road or anything. But Andri is still pretty good at finding good path through, so you guys are not overly hindered by the landscape. And so you pretty much travel all day, and it's time to make camp. And she thinks that at this pace, you will probably you will approach the lake itself tomorrow. But it will probably take, the next day before you would be able to get it to the city.
Well, while we're in
Okay.
camp, did you want to try your hand at fashioning some kind of wheel?
Yeah, if we have to camp out for sure.
So, does someone else want to help with attempting to make a wheel?
Yeah, sure. I'm not doing anything else. I'll help.
Yeah.
What you need?
Just watch.
Okay, so neither of you are like proficient in wood carving, I don't think. Woodworking.
Yeah, no, mine's metalworking.
Yeah. Now, some of that would overlap, but I still don't think. So, in that sense, I will say your experience with blacksmithing will allow you to kind of make an attempt here, but no proficiency bonus. However, since Nira is aiding you, you can roll your. Roll an intelligence check with advantage.
Okay. That's 19. 2 19s.
Oh wow, yeah. You guys, you never tried making a wheel before, but you guys spend a few hours at it at camp. The wheel that the was on the other side of this cart wasn't exactly a work of genius. And given that you guys didn't have fancy tools to work with, you have crafted a fairly functional wheel here. So you get the sense that you won't have to like walk by it and carry it for the next day.
Ooh. That'll help.
Arm day is over, Archie.
And if we're going to go to sleep, if we're going to go ahead and sleep, I would summon vengeance.
Okay. To cast the spell for today, so it's not on tomorrow's slots. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So you guys have another, quiet evening. I would imagine you still set watches, but it's you don't have you hear some animal noises and so on in the distance, but nothing bothers you. And so, in the morning you set out again, and you're able to move a little faster this time with. So here, tell me how this is working now that you are able to just pull the wagon. You guys have, 5 people and 4 horses and a wagon. How are you handling
Well,
that?
we have 2 smaller folks, so if Andrea will have me, I could maybe hop up with her.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, okay.
Chooch, I'm sorry. Archie's got his war horse, right?
Yeah, it's the
But
biggest.
you already
It
got rid of
probably
that other
makes-
horse.
Well, yeah, you guys didn't bring another horse from Villanocta. Yeah. So,
Tense moment.
well,
Well, I mean, war horses are bigger. It seems like it'd be more comfortable on there. But
Well,
whatever.
well, you could also
just-
have that one pulling the wagon.
Right.
Yeah.
And which I think is the more strenuous task. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really weigh that much.
You also, although Vengeance does certainly comply with your directives, Ottercree, you do get a little bit of attitude at pulling a wagon. It's like,
Demeaning behavior.
yeah, not a refusal, not a denial, but there's a tone.
Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
Very
All right.
temporary.
So, you guys are making your way across the landscape for another day, and you kind of crest a hill, and as you look down, you see now in the distance you can spot surrounded by forest is an enormous lake, and it is Lake Elamon. But just as you are kind of taking in this vista, you hear just a little like and you see that there is a young man in robes. It's actually a surprisingly sort of bright blue, striking, nice robe, fancy robe, and he is sitting at the sort of the reins of a horse-drawn cart, and he just says, "Hello, over here."
Guy just snuck up on us,
Hello?
horse and cart. That's not good.
Well, no, it looks like he was waiting right there, and
Oh.
so as you guys kind of came over the hill, he was already there.
That's not good.
Greetings there. What's the password?
What?
Password? I don't know what you mean. I've been waiting for you.
Well, if you don't know the password, we can't let you pass.
It's okay. You were waiting for us?
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry.
You see, I am an initiate in the service of the spirit of Lake Elamon, and he has graciously granted you an opportunity to show your respect to him before you enter his domain, and it coincides with a personal pilgrimage of mine, and so I am here with this wagon to help you with your burden, and together we can go and cleanse a temple in the name of Lake Elamon.
Oh, it's a tax collector.
That's cute. Yeah, I don't know that we're going to be doing that.
What?
What she means is we're strangers here, and we're not exactly sure what the hell you just said. At least I'm not.
Well, allow me to evangelize for a moment, if I may use the word. And of course, let me introduce myself. My name is Estevan, and I, as I mentioned, am an initiate in the service of the spirit of Lake Elamon. I'm sure you're familiar that a geographical feature as notable and as ancient as Lake Elamon has a very powerful spirit embodying it, and this spirit has graciously foreseen your coming and is sent me to offer you an opportunity to show him respect before you enter his domain. And as an initiate, there is an act of service that I must perform in my service to him in order to progress in my journey, my spiritual journey, and these needs coincide, they overlap, if you will. And so the spirit of Lake Elamon has sent me here with this wagon, for he foresaw that you were in need. And together we can perform this service, and then you will enter Lake Elamon's domain as a party that has done a service for him.
No, I was right the
Exactly.
first time.
What
Tax
does this
collector.
service entail?
Oh,
I think you're going to need to be a little more specific.
of course, I'll tell you anything you like. There is a temple that was once in service of a savage troll spirit of the hunt, fairly upsetting rituals performed there long ago. But in Lake Elamon's expanding domain, we are now prepared to claim this temple in the name of Lake Elamon. And this spirit that once was worshipped there has waned in power. And so we are simply there to go and perform a ritual, which I will do. And once it has been claimed in the name of Lake Elamon, then we can proceed home to Elamontia in glory.
So we just got to go with you?
Well, there may be some hazards. I don't believe that they will be anything that would seriously threaten adventurers as capable as you. But I will perform the ritual itself.
So here's the thing. I'm a cleric. I don't know if you were told, but the last time I assisted in something involving a different spirit, I was, you could say, reprimanded for my behavior. And I would care a great deal not to experience that again.
Well, certainly I can understand the needs of serving different spirits. I myself have only ever served the spirit of Lake Elamon, but I can understand that if your spiritual sponsor would direct you otherwise, then I could not ask such a thing of you. But would your spiritual patron tell you to enter the lands of another powerful spirit without demonstrating a show of respect?
Well, I can do that. I mean, I was
Go
told
ahead
I
and make a
should do that.
religion check, Nira.
Okay.
I mean, I got these stones and everything. Can I meet your spirit?
Ooh. So I just rolled a natural 20, and that's
Okay.
without my.
Yeah, what you know is that it's one thing when it's just a little spirit here and there, and in particular, I think one of the some of the ones that you were kind of called out on were a little bit fishier, whereas this is a big established spirit, and it's not so much a question of like, is Rushama okay with that, as much as you know for a fact that a spirit as powerful as the one for Lake Elamon, if it wants a show of respect, you don't have to give it one, but your life entering its domain is going to be much more difficult if you don't.
All right. Fair enough.
All right. I do have a gift for the spirit of Lake
Oh,
Where we
wonderful.
Elamon. Yeah, from Huraz.
I would have to. I don't have my notes open.
I do.
Oh yes. Well then yes.
I had to look it up myself. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, great, I had the thing.
Yeah. So the and he just says that's excellent. I would suggest that once you are you know in bestow, you have the respect, you've shown the respect, you have the grace to enter Lake Elamon's domain. There is a temple both in in Elamontia and another. The big one is in Senshin, but you could in either place perform a ritual of offering with this gift, or you could perform one just at any place in the lake. Of course, the entire lake is the spirit's domain.
I mean, I couldn't just leave with you because you're like the go
If you
between.
wish to give it to me, then I can certainly perform the ritual of offering on your behalf in the future, but offering it to me is not the same thing as offering it to the spirit.
I suppose not.
I think it might be okay to go ahead and do this.
I mean, we got to evict somebody, right? That's what you're basically asking for. Is you're going to go nail the notice on this door, and we're going to kick
Oh,
open
the spirit that
gates.
once embodied this temple, it has lost nearly all of its worshippers, and so it is a paltry thing now. I doubt that it will be able to put up any resistance whatsoever.
You know, I am not good at math. Actually, I'm pretty good at math, but nearly all is not nothing. Which means there's going to be some people
Agreed.
angry about this, right?
Yeah.
Well, to some extent, that is the benefit. You see, the coinciding of opportunity. I myself would be at some risk were to I attempt it on my own, and that is why you and I coming together are the will of the spirit of Lake Elamon.
Okay, you mentioned a troll, right?
It is a
So-
spirit that was primarily worshipped by trolls. Yes.
Well,
So
I don't
trolls.
like trolls, so it's kind of a plus.
So the region of the temple has largely been taken over already by the expanding borders of Lake Elamon, and so I believe that it has more or less been taken already, but it is the ritual that officially claims it that we will be performing.
Yeah, it's the same as when I was growing up. You go to a place, you knock on the door, you put the post up saying you own it now and kick the people out. I get it. I get it. You can put all the fancy words you like on it, but
Andre says, well, wait a second. That just makes me realize what I had been confused by. You said expanding borders. Guys, it's been a while since I was at Lake Elamon, and I didn't approach it from this direction before, but it looks bigger than it used to?
Well, I imagine with the increase flow from the river,
It's the purple thing, isn't it?
that's
Andrew says, well, I mean, the Sitzlebeck River's been there for 100 years.
I suppose that's true. Well, I guess we got to go there anyway.
Estevan says, "Ah, yes. Well, I can answer that question too. Is that the powers of Lake Elamon have been growing, and he has been spreading his influence over the surrounding features. Just as mighty Mount Rushama grew to its enormous size over time, Lake Elamon is doing the same."
Yeah, this is a very familiar kind of setup that we're seeing.
So this is
I
normal.
don't
for
think
you.
it's quite the same as Rushama. I mean, that took
Well, no.
thousands and thousands of years, not, 100.
Well, Rushama is the second oldest spirit in the land, and so it is understandable that it would have needed to take that long to get so large.
I think that was
Second
a
oldest?
diss.
Well, Lake Elamon is older still than Rushama.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
don't really want to be in the middle of a bunch of religious stuff, I'll be honest.
No fighting. All right.
Oh,
'Cause-
I don't mean any argument. I thought that this was common knowledge. I don't mean any offense.
Yeah, just stop for now. It's probably safer for all of us. There's lightning involved.
Well, my
He
statement
looks
was bigger. I
sincerely,
don't
like,
want to get.
dismayed. Like I really did not intend to cause any offense. I am new in the service of Lake Elamon. Perhaps I am not as diplomatic as I might one day grow to be.
You want to kick something near Kina? That we can go kick something. Probably.
Let's
Then-
go.
And you can kind of show, that yours is bigger.
So he offers to let you transfer the shell and anything else you would like onto this more sturdy, well manufactured cart instead of the half size Cobalt construction one.
Yeah, we can probably do that. I mean, you're not going to run away on us, are you? Because that'd be bad for all of us.
Yeah, I
Run
would
away? No,
recommend
I need your help to perform the ritual.
I see you.
Yes, I see you too.
Okay.
Shall we then?
So we're doing this?
You're not going to be angry again, are you?
Let's just go.
We can check it out.
In the chat, Paulette says, "Not like you guys have ever had problems with rituals."
Certainly not.
So he guides you in a direction that is still down this slope, in the general direction of the lake, but it's a bit of a turn from the original direction you were going that was heading towards La Mancha. But after only a few hours travel, you kind of are heading down alongside some rocky cliffs, and he leads you to a cave entrance that has, in a few places along the outside of this cave entrance, has some roughly carved runes along the outside of it. And he says, I believe this is the
closer
place.
What are the runes carved in? What language?
I would suspect it is the troll language. I believe they share it with giants.
Yeah, I don't have. Does anybody speak giant? Because I don't have that one.
No.
I tend to go the other way. Smaller. This is carved in, looks rough, doesn't look like anybody's been here for a while.
You can make an investigation check.
Oh no, I get the first
Does
roll.
it seem magical in nature? Like, can I do a? Would it be religion or arcana?
You can make either.
Oh, 18.
I'll do religion because I have
Okay.
proficiency.
Well, so for Alaric's investigation, you are basically looking for any signs that there's been activity
Yeah.
in the area, and you get the feeling that there hasn't been any traffic in or out of this cave in, at the very least, the last week.
It's not the center of their
Yeah.
beliefs, at least.
And I've got an 18.
Which was that a religion or
Religion, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, these look ornamental.
Okay. It's concerned about booby traps, so.
All right. Were you checking for anything like traps, too, Alaric? Or I was, I think your first was looking for, just foot traffic from the outside.
First sight is yeah, just that stuff. But now that I think about it, people protect their stuff. So I will look around and see if there's any trap-like devices or locks or things.
As you are looking inside, or you're around the outside, you don't find anything.
All right. Whereabouts in here do we have to go? Whatever her name was.
Estevan.
Estevan.
Yes. And I will be cleric Estevan, if all goes well according to plan today. Inside, there should be an altar. This was, I believe, a temple devoted to a spirit of the hunt, to the staving off of hunger. And so there is probably an offering portal where they would bring their kills. And that is where we will want to complete our ritual. But to some extent, I detect water rushing inside. And as he points it out, you do realize that you do hear the sound of moving water from inside the cave. And he says, I believe Lake Elamon has already begun his work to claim this location.
All right, just to be on the safe side, I cast Mage Armor. I guess we're ready to go.
All right.
I don't
So,
speak for anybody else. If anybody else doesn't want to go in, then you just say so.
No, I've got my shield up. I'm good.
all right.
I can cast water breathing now if we think we're going to be doing that kind of business.
I would hold off on that just in case. I mean, you don't want to waste a spell slot if we don't need it.
Hopefully, pre-cleric Estevan will speak on our behalf and not make us drown.
Well, I don't know exactly what we'll find in there, but certainly Lake Elamon doesn't want us to drown.
Would hope not.
Wind column, I guess.
So let me transition us to the map here. As you guys peek in through the opening of this cave, you realize that pretty quickly, once you get through that cave, you see carved stairs descending down into darkness. It's pretty dark in there. I just realized too that I am missing my official Andry token, so I have a different one. But what you see as you kind of huddle around these stairs, what you can see with your dark vision in this initial opening is a cave that has been partially collapsed on one side. You see a skeleton larger than human. It looks like whatever that thing was probably about 10 feet tall when it was alive, but it's a skeleton now. And you see that a large crack has opened in the floor of this chamber, and water is pouring out of it like a spring, and traveling downwards further into this cave.
All right.
I guess the lake's leaking in.
Does anybody need like dark vision, or somebody's got goggles? Did we get
Andrea,
it?
Andrea and I both.
Estevan
them?
has just lit a torch, and he's like, "Oh, well, I can carry the torch."
Please do.
That's cool. I've got my goggles handy, and so does Andrea, I'm sure.
Yep, she's got hers. I just realized I didn't make a token for Estevan, but he is essentially planning to let you guys do whatever combat might be necessary. He's got his fancy ritual robe on. You see, he's like,
Wouldn't want to
know.
get that dirty.
and he wouldn't want to, you know, interfere with your part of this whole arrangement.
I see. All right. I'm going to head down the stairs, kind
Okay.
of rolling my eyes a little bit.
Okay. So you descend the stairs and you see that the water flowing along here is not too deep at this level. So you suspect that the floor might be a little bit slippery, but it at least on this level doesn't look like it'll be too hard to keep your footing.
I'm gonna go over and take a look at that skeleton.
All right. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
13.
13. It looks long dead, like years. You see that there seems like there's some rotted material around it that might once have been some sort of a hide clothing, but looks like it's been there for a while. And generally speaking, you in this room, it doesn't seem like it's really seen any recent activity at all.
Yeah, they didn't even clean up. This is terrible.
Esteban says, "Well, as Lake Elamon's presence has moved in and the trolls have diminished in this area, the worshippers have, left behind, and the spirit's power has diminished. Once it has been claimed, Lake Elamon will decide whether or not it shall be refurbished as a current practice temple, or whether or not it should just be allowed to decay in its own way."
I guess the tiger moves in and the lion moves out. Shall we?
Let's head in.
All right, so are you all moving in now? This is going to be a stand-in for Andrie because I don't have her regular token. See?
The part of Andrew this evening will be played by Alessa Milano. Thanks for joining us, special guest.
All right, so yeah, you're moving in, and as you can see that there's another set of stairs down to a level. It looks like it descends about 10 feet. And the water from this crack is rushing in that direction and spilling over the ledge here and down the stairs.
I think it's down there, Esteban.
I believe so. There appears to be one direction.
Well,
Let's wade in.
Yeah.
So as you guys are walking across the moving water here, please all make a dexterity check.
Or I could cast Water Walk.
Water walk, knowing the spell is, it's not ideally suited for moving water. Like, it would be kind of like standing on a carpet that's being pulled along the ground.
Well, but if you could, like, I don't.
You would not go down into the water, but what you would be standing on is still moving.
Guess I don't know.
See, like if it was a station, like if it was a pool of water with a surface, you could walk along the surface like it's solid. But
wouldn't like the ocean or a lake be moving?
Don't we need to go down anyway?
Well, see, but this is actively flowing in a direction.
Okay. All right.
It'd be like you could try standing on it like a conveyor belt, but it's also going down this lip.
Okay.
So I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying that, like, right now it would be like standing on a moving walkway that is like going over ledges and stuff, as opposed to being able to stay stationary in a spot while it moves around you. So
What are we? The dexterity, you said?
Yeah.
I rolled a 19, so 22.
18.
18.
All right.
Natural one.
Oh yeah.
At least we weren't all tied together like
Yeah,
we were. There,
Andrea actually also rolled a 5. So I think probably what's happening here is as you approach these stairs, Archie, your feet kind of slip out from under you, and then as you're kind of pushed forward by the water over the lip, you sort of take out Andrea along the way, and the two of you tumble over the lip, together, kind of falling down the stairs a little bit. And you're going to take just 1 bludgeoning damage each as you kind of fall down. It's like, so the rest of you kind of see the two of them sort of tumble down into darkness over the slip, and then boom, 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 boom. Andrew's like, I'm okay.
Stand up.
Yeah.
That's not much deeper.
Yeah. All right. So, and as you see this, this new room, you realize that, this room looks like it had. There's a lot of more ornamentation on the walls here, and there's patterns carved into the floor, and it looks a little bit more like a temple area and not just a cave here. And it continues with another set of stairs going down. But as it gets narrower, you can see that the water is kind of moves faster in that direction.
How much further do we have to go here, Esteban?
Well, I've never actually been to this particular temple, but they're just trolls. I can't imagine that this is a sprawling labyrinth.
Are these troll-sized stairs?
Sure.
They're a little big, but they're not difficult.
All right. I'm going to move forward and try to be cautious and
Okay.
try not to let them
Yeah.
Yeah.
chase me down the river here.
So
Definitely.
you're those of you past the check were able to descend to this next level while keeping your feet.
Okay. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to
Okay.
be checking for traps, but really checking for anything that might be like an accidental hole in the floor to fall through or trip on or anything.
Go
like that.
ahead and you're looking at this dotted line square that I drew on the map right here. Is that part of what's going on there?
But it looked like there was a
go
trap
ahead.
at the top of the stairs because 2 people fell down.
Yeah. Well, do make another investigation check.
Yeah, 13.
13. You do actually still discover that, in fact, both of these big dotted line squares do seem to be panels that maybe they look like they're designed to kind of, be like a pressure plate trigger, but they also kind of look like they're already depressed. Meaning, if they're intended to be a trap that is like level with the floor and then pressure makes it descend, they're already kind of sunk down like 2 inches from the rest of the floor.
I'll point it out and just say, probably should move around them. It's probably old and broken anyway. But the water might be holding it down.
You do realize also, as you realize that might be a trigger, that you look around and on the walls, there are tiny holes in some of the carvings.
Okay, it was probably meant to be a trap, but we're probably fine. Somebody's already triggered it. Now we don't see the bodies, so they probably floated away.
Or it could have just been the water.
Did I find any darts or anything on the floor that might have come out of the holes?
You don't see any.
Probably washed away anyway. Still, I'll keep an eye out, and that means that there might be more things the water hasn't already triggered for us. I mean, I built traps for 4 years. I kind of know what they look like.
Yeah.
Okay, mine suck, but these are, what I have mine. This is what I was thinking of. I just didn't have anything to build them with.
All right, so you're
Onward.
moving away around these plates?
Yeah,
Or okay. All right, who's leading the way here?
I'll take the lead. I waved at me first.
All right. So go ahead and make a another dexterity check, because the water, as this passageway narrows, the water is moving faster.
Okay, 16.
16. Yep, you're still good. I've kind of put you guys in the, Nira, Amethyst, Archie, Andrew, but you guys tell me if you want anything different than that. That was kind of arbitrary.
I'll go up next after Alaric,
Okay.
and I got 15.
Okay. Yeah, you're good. So as you're standing at the top of the stairs, Alaric, you see the stairs descend into a large area where the pathway gets very narrow and reaches to an altar, and it extends over what looks like just a cavernous deep hole. Like this whole area here is just it's a hole, and you can't see how deep it is from where you are, but the altar extends over it, and laying across the top of the altar is the figure of what appears to be a troll, but it's like emaciated looking.
Is it breathing?
Make an investigation or a perception check from where you are.
24.
It does appear to be breathing, but it's a little shallow. Like it's just kind of, it's laying there, not moving otherwise, but it is kind of breathing in a shallow way. And like I said, it looks very skinny. You can see its ribs.
There's a skinny troll down there. Is that supposed to be there? Estevan, is that what you expected? They said spirit.
Well, I had thought that all the trolls would probably be gone by now, given the weakened state of the spirit. But as we can see, there it is.
That might actually be the spirit. Maybe.
Looks like a troll to me.
Make a religion check, Nira.
And intelligence. 22.
22. You gather that if as Estevan suggested, this was a spirit of the hunt and of staving off hunger, it may be, given this troll's emaciated state, it may be starving itself as a sort of offering.
Oh, okay. It's possible this troll is hoping to revive the spirit by fasting.
Okay, so I mean it's still here. Estevan, you said nobody'd likely be here except maybe. I mean, well, there's a troll down there. That's nothing to mess with.
Wow.
As you guys are talking, by the way, the troll does kind of. And it starts to sit up and look up the stairs at you.
Yeah, great.
Oh, yay.
Oh.
And we're going to roll initiative.
Hello.
All right. Oops.
19.
6.
Okay. 6.
16 for Amethyst.
Okay. Andrew gets. Andrew rolled a 1, and so ends up with 6. Alaric, did you get yours?
8.
8. Okay. Oops. All right, and let's see about this troll. The troll gets a 13. So, Nira, you are up first. This troll has obviously noticed your presence now, but has not done anything else.
All right. Um, you know, I'm going to. I don't know if it'll speak common though. Is the thing. Ah, damn it. Well, I'll give it a shot. Hello. So here's the thing. This temple is in the process of being taken over, and if possible, if you could just, go, we're happy to not harm you if you want to pass in peace.
All right. Are you holding any action or doing anything else?
Uh, yeah, and I can't call the lightning in here, so that's out.
Yeah, the ceiling where
If-
you are is only about 10
Right.
feet, and then it's a little higher out in this area because it descends downstairs, but the ceiling stays about as high. So it's higher here, but still only about 20 feet.
So if it attacks, I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay. Amethyst.
Hmm. This is why I hate having a high initiative roll.
See, aren't you so proud of me? I didn't attack first.
Yeah.
It's a lot of growth.
Real proud. Save the trolls. um.
Well, I mean, the last time we were in a temple and facing something bad, Archie just commanded it to kneel, and it was done.
I think I'm gonna cast Conjure Animals just because I know how these people are.
Okay. What
Yeah.
what are you conjuring?
Honestly, I'm thinking a rhinoceros might be fun.
A rhinoceros. Okay.
Let me see. I think
See, I don't have
a
that.
rhinoceros is CR2, which I can summon.
Viv, I love you. You're amazing.
Oh, but I don't have a name for a rhinoceros. I can't think of any. So if anybody thinks of one, let me know.
All right, where you want this rhinoceros?
To the where Nira is, but on the opposite side.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carved out
Discount
of
unicorn.
appearing out of thin air, this enormous leathery beast with the horn appears.
Please tell me that's yours.
And I say, of course, and I blow my little baby a kiss. I mean the rhinoceros, not Alaric. No offense.
It snorts at you a little embarrassed, like.
That's what I do.
So go ahead and roll initiative for the rhino.
Do I add my modifier to it?
Its modifier.
just-
Its dexterity modifier.
Oh, right. I didn't pull that up yet. Okay, so I rolled a 6, and the dexterity modifier is hidden. -1, so 5. Oh, right. They wouldn't be very dexterous, would they?
No, that's not their forte.
They're for smashing.
Yep. All right. So it will go at the end of the initiative order then, but it is there. It is now the troll's turn, and it looks up at you, and it kind of points at you, and it sort of slaps its sort of hollow stomach, then bares its claws and its teeth, and it's gonna charge at you, Alaric, because you're the one that it sees.
Feed it a hamburger.
Does that mean my spell triggers? Does it trigger
doesn't
first or
speak
after?
Yes,
Common.
no, it does trigger. So go ahead and make that attack.
Ranged spell attack. So 16.
16 hits.
And that is 46.
Yep.
8, 10, 18.
18.
And it's sparkly.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Dazzle.
All right. So you see this
Dazzled.
bolt of arcane energy, shoot out at it, cover it with this glittering glow that makes it really stand out in the darkened environment of this temple, and it's rocked backwards from the impact and snarls. "Ah!" But it's still charging. First, it's going to make a dexterity check as it tries to climb these stairs against the flow of the water. And I'm going to actually give it disadvantage because you hit it with a guiding bolt on its way up. That's not good. Wow, yeah. Both of those rolls were actually bad. So it starts charging up the stairs, but as you hit it with your guiding bolt, it actually slips and is knocked back down and thumps up against the altar, and
Nice.
just looks, and it's knocked prone, and so it's down there prone. It's looking up at you in fury though. All right, so Archie. No, I'm sorry. Alaric is up then. Alaric first.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What did I have last tuned? I believe I had the crossbow attuned, and the dagger. Weirdly enough, I will summon the crossbow because it's a lot easier than just pulling it off my back, I guess.
Right.
And I'm going to shoot it because
All
it's
right.
clearly angry at me.
You are going to be at disadvantage because it's prone.
All right. I will give it.
Does he have advantage because it's shining? So it's
Yeah.
Yes.
washes
So
out?
yeah, regular attack then. You're right.
Okay. So crossbow bolt.
Mm-hmm.
That is an 11.
Unfortunately, your crossbow bolt, pings off of the corner of this altar, and then you hear it go clunk, 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 clunk,
Yeah,
splash
I'll put that aside.
as it
then.
falls down in this hole.
All right. Can I draw my dagger?
Yep.
All right. I might as well rush it then.
Okay.
So I'll move up to it and I'll attack again.
Okay. I had you make the dexterity check as you moved up to here, so that'll stand for now. But you're gonna need to make a check for each turn.
Okay.
As long as you're standing in the stream there. Okay.
So that was how much movement? That was 10?
Yeah, 10 feet.
Okay. I'll attack again, this time with the dagger.
All right.
Natural 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, no.
Okay.
In fact, actually, make another dexterity check.
15.
15. You are able to keep your feet, but you kind of overextended yourself with that lunge a little bit and almost slipped.
All right. I have enough movement. I'll move back. I will provoke an opportunity attack if it goes for it.
Okay. Yep. Didn't you don't have a bonus action to disengage or something?
I used my bonus action to summon my weapon. I realized that
Oh,
earlier.
right. Yeah. Okay. So it does try to swipe at you with its claws. And you 10. It's rolling really low.
Not enough.
Yeah. So, as it's trying to get back on its feet, it swipes at you, but misses. You are able to pull back up, go back up the stairs. But going back up the stairs, let's get another check.
22.
22. Yeah, you
know where
make
the
your way
stairs
up. You make your way up against this current. That's this water that's just flowing down. It's very
Swimming
cold.
upstream.
Yep. All right.
Spawn.
Now you're up, Archie.
Okay, so I'm guessing I'm gonna have to move up to get a shot with a bow.
You would at least need to move to the side and probably closer to get line of sight.
Okay, so I want to move to the side and closer.
Are you trying to avoid these panels still, or are you just gonna not worry about it?
No, I'm not going to worry about it.
All right.
You see, seemed sure they were spent.
Yeah, as you step onto them, they don't seem to move or respond in any way. So I'll say you can move to here to get line of sight. Make a
Awesome.
dexterity check.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that.
A 7.
Whoops. As you find your feet slipping out from under you, you are swept over down the stairs, and you are gonna land prone on top of the troll.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I think that's your turn.
Yeah.
Andri is going to. Let's see. She is. You see her kind of hopping across various little bits where just the crumbling stone just emerges above the water. So she's got a feat. She is good with difficult terrain. So she's hop hop hop, and she gets over here. She's going to fire her short bow at it. It's a 19 and a 10. She does 10 damage to it with her arrows, with her short bow arrow, and it roars. Oh wait, no, sorry, that should have been with disadvantage. So okay, the first attack missed because it's disadvantage. It's still prone. Oh yeah, unfortunately, yeah, she misses twice.
Would that necessarily be disadvantage because he's still sparkling?
That only goes for the first attack made on him.
Oh, it does?
I think.
Okay. I thought it was for
the
until my
whole
next turn. Yeah, it says against the and the next attack roll made against this target before the end of the next turn. Yeah, so it's used.
But
Never mind.
yeah, okay, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to
Yeah.
be sure. Okay, great. So yeah, Andri misses unfortunately. Now Amethyst, your rhino is up.
Bring on
So
the
he's-
pain.
How big is that? I did not think y'all were going to be playing down the bottom of that tunnel this whole time. How wide is that thing?
Neither
You
did
even know that?
I mean, I figured we'd draw that dude out.
Yeah, the stairway is 10 feet, but there's the pathway that the troll and now Archie are both kind of resting on near the bottom is only about 5 feet when it goes up to the
Right.
altar. But Archie is kind of
Right.
at the bottom of the stairs where it's still 10 feet wide.
Yeah, I would love to put the rhinoceros down there just to hear Nira complain about it
Okay.
later.
Well, so the rhino
Kind of tempting.
is heavy enough that he's not troubled by the flowing water,
Hmm.
but he's not necessarily great with stairs.
So let's maybe. I really want to see that now, though.
Okay.
Now that you said that, I kind of want to see if the rhinoceros lands on there.
have him have him make a dexterity check.
And charge.
Now, for my own peace of mind, we've already attacked this guy, right? Someone has already attacked it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he rushed at Nira and she fired off her guiding bolt.
It attacked and
Right.
we have retaliated.
It kind of,
Ooh,
mimicked that it was going to
sugar.
eat us. I took it that way.
It's gonna eat us. Okay, so I rolled a 7, and I think it was dexterity, right?
Yep.
So 6, because it was a -1
Yeah.
modifier.
So this rhino, it's not pushed by the water, but then it attempts to navigate the stairs in the dark and tumbles down. And let's see. I'm gonna have the troll and Archie are gonna take 9 bludgeoning
Yeah.
damage.
Oh, I'll heal you.
as
I'll heal
this,
you, man. Don't
as
worry.
this rhino lands on top of you, and then the rhino tumbles over into the hole.
Oh,
Rhino more.
And
So
Archie,
I-
make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah. Love
so I
to.
basically rolled a rhinoceros down.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
20.
All right. You are almost knocked off of this ledge by a rhinoceros tumbling down the stairs on top of you, but you are able to hang on and not fall.
I totally forgot about the hole. Sorry, Archie.
All I was thinking about was the plate mail protecting my hole with that horn coming down the stairs.
Yeah. All right, Nira, you're up.
Oh my god. Okay. So glad I wasn't drinking anything. Okay. Well, part of me wants to cast
Paulette
Guardian of
says,
Faith.
"Rhino, go down the hole."
Not good when I can't think of a name for him. It doesn't seem like a good omen.
Part of me wants to cast Guardian of Faith, but I think I want to hang on to that in case I need control water. So I'm just going to use Guiding Bolt again.
Okay. He is currently prone, so it is going to be an attack roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
And yeah, I allowed you to make the line of sight from there the last time, so I'll say that still applies.
That didn't go. Oh wait, I gotta add the thing. So, a 10 and a 15. So the 10.
Yeah, unfortunately, your guiding bolt
Damn it.
goes wide and is not able to. The little glitter bomb explodes against the stone altar, and dissipates. Amethyst, your rhinoceros.
hole.
Your rhinoceros actually, like, you are able to feel, the rhinoceros and like what it's, what it's experiencing.
Oh,
So
no.
let's see.
Aww.
Well, no, I don't mean like you literally feel its pain, but what you know is that it has not been poofed. So it has
Alive.
probably taken damage falling down this hole, but it is still down there.
Okay.
It's the worst depth meter ever.
It's so imprecise.
And in fact, actually, now that you're thinking about it, you as you listen, you hear echoing up from the hole.
Oh,
But it sounds pretty far away, like it fell pretty far.
yeah.
Go towards the light.
Carolyn. I think I'm gonna. It's prone now, right?
Yeah.
So I've got Earthbind. I'm thinking cast that and keep it down, especially since Archie's all tangled up with it. Let's see. I don't know if I have to roll anything for it.
Let's see. It makes a strength saving throw. Or its speed is reduced to 0. All right. So it's going to make strength saving throw 12, which I think is not good enough. What is your?
What is it?
It should be your spell save DC. It should say it by the spell. It'll say like STR plus a number. If you have
I'm
that
looking
spell.
for it.
Yeah, so I'm looking like in your spells thing
Mhm.
by Earthbind. It says STR 14.
Okay.
Are you not seeing that? Don't look in your attacks section. Look in the spells section.
Okay.
It'd be next to the little plus.
It's STR 14.
Yeah. Okay, so 12 is not enough. So you see these yellow loops of magical energy go up around the troll's body, and you can see it kind of struggling against him. But and so it is its turn. And it is able to just stand up barely and not be prone anymore, but you see it struggling to walk against these binds and it can't. Are you going to move or anything?
I'm sorry. Let me see
I'm
on
actually
that.
going to say you also would have had to,
Yeah.
you would have, to get that line of sight, you would have had to move like here. And do make a dexterity check for me.
20, natural 20.
All right, yeah, you're holding your feet. No problem. Okay, so it is the troll's turn now, and enraged by not being able to, to move, it's going to take out its rage on Archie, who is prone at its feet. So, yeah, Archie, this thing is going at you with both claws and both sets of claws, and it's going to try to bite you too. So, also, you guys notice that some of the burns, the magical burns it had suffered from the previous wounds, are seeming to heal, starting to heal.
Oh.
It doesn't look like it's not all the way healed, but it does recover some. It has regenerated some. Okay. So first claws, 13. But it gets advantage because you're prone.
Mhm.
So
But
first claw is,
it's restrained, isn't it?
it's not restrained, it's only that its movement speed is 0.
Oh, okay.
Oop.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. It can't go up the stairs though.
Well,
So
hopefully
the
Archie will
first
wake
was
up and
13, which is not going to hit.
Yes.
Second one is 27.
Hits.
That's actually a crit. So you're
Oh,
going
that's
to,
kind of interesting.
let's see. And then 19 is the bite.
Oh.
Miss.
Okay, so
The
only the
funny
claw,
interesting
but it does get a crit with that claw attack, so that you're going to take 13 piercing damage, or slashing damage, excuse me, from, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I rolled that wrong. I'm sorry. 21 slashing damage from this crit slash. All right. Alaric, your turn. This thing is apparently now like bound in spot, but it's not keeping it from slashing at Archie.
Well, that's not good. Is Archie on his feet?
No, he's prone.
Not yet.
You're prone, okay. So it wouldn't count as an ally nearby. Doggone it. All right.
By the way, make another dexterity check before you do
That
anything.
Natural 1.
Really?
There we go. Yes.
Whoop.
Come on
You
in.
fall down
The
these
water's
stairs.
fine.
You take 4 bludgeoning damage as you fall down the stairs and land prone at this troll's feet.
Oops.
Thump, thump, thump. Ugh. All right, Archie, your turn.
So I'm in a stand.
All right, make a dexterity check. As because all of this water is this constant waterfall over the ledge now
Right.
into this hole.
Constant rushing.
Yeah.
All right, 19.
19. Yeah,
20 with my
you're able to
plus
get
one.
to your feet and find a stable standing position as you stand facing off this troll. There's not a lot of space down here though. It's very cramped at the bottom of the stairs. The
Yeah.
troll is taking up the majority of this pathway that leads to the altar.
Okay, so so I was going to attack previously with the bow, so definitely longsword. Time to hack and slash
Yeah.
at the guy. First attack is 16.
16 hits.
I'll hit that and do my 9 points of damage,
All right.
slashing. And second attack is 26.
Yeah, that hits too.
And so I'm going to juice this one up
Okay.
with. I'll go ahead and try this with Syrian Smite. So, damage, initial slashing damage is 10 points,
Okay.
and then. Actually, I'll do it at second level,
All right.
which does a whole 4 points of fire damage.
Ooh. Oh, but fire damage? All right.
Yes.
All right.
And
And you see
Syrian
as it
Smite.
takes this fire damage, you see it react almost like stronger than you'd expect it, like, "Ah!" And you see that some of these wounds where it had had kind of this constant regeneration seems like it stops temporarily.
Sweet. So at the start of its next turn, it must take an additional. Oh wait, I'm sorry. It does a save.
Oh, does it get to save?
So on its next turn, it does a Constitution 14 Constitution save, or it takes an additional 2d6 fire damage
Okay.
each round. Each round for a minute.
Wow. All right. So it is currently smoldering. This lingering fiery energy is kind of smoldering over its skin. It's very unhappy with you. All right, Andrew's turn.
That's my goal.
Andrew's turn is going to. She's going to take 2 more arrow shots at it. 9 and 25. Yeah, so 25 hits. And it takes another 7 piercing damage from her arrow. All right. This thing is definitely looking pretty wounded right now. And so that is Andrew's turn. Amethyst, you hear the rhino snorting around down in the bottom of this hole somewhere. Still technically alive, so it has its turn. All right, Nira, you are up again.
Archie, what is your how much? What are you down to?
So I'm down to 38 out of 69. I
Ooh,
can take a couple hits.
Yeah, but I can help you out a little bit. So I am going to cast, because I have noticed that it is smoldering, and everybody knows how much I absolutely love Sacred Flame. So I'm going to cast Sacred Flame and then use, because Alaric, you're down a little bit too, right?
Just a little.
Just a little. I'm just going to use Healing Word on Archie as for bonus.
All
So
right.
Sacred Flame is 14 Dexterity.
Okay. Okay, so he gets a 17 with his dexterity saving throw.
Okay. So I rolled a 13, so half of that is 6. Is that right?
I don't
They
think
take half?
Sacred. I think Sacred Flame. They don't take anything.
Oh
if they
no.
succeed.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay, well I'm still gonna cast Healing Word on Archie.
Okay.
Doom. And that is 1d4 plus 3. 7.
Okay.
Ah, thank you.
Did something right anyway.
All right. The let's see. I'm looking at something. Okay. So you got your healing, Archie. Amethyst, you're up.
I want to throw fire at him, but I'll probably hit the guys. Trying to decide how much I
Bring
mind.
it.
I'm kidding. So how big is he? Like,
He is
if I were
like
to
10
do
feet tall. He is a large creature to the extent that the mechanics of it matter.
could we say that he would like fully take a 5 foot radius, and like if I were to drop something on him that had a 5 foot radius?
Well, can you target it? Which spell are you
You
looking
could
for?
drop on the altar to hit them.
Moonbeam.
Oh, yeah. So you could, I think Moonbeam. I think
On a
you
point
can,
within range.
yeah, on a point within range. Yeah, you can definitely have the point be where it'll hit only him and not the and not Alaric or Archie.
Yeah, I want to do that.
All right.
Woohoo!
Okay. Does he get a save or anything?
It says that when a silvery beam of pale light shines down on a point within range until the spell ends, which is duration is up to 1 minute.
Okay.
Dim
He's
light fills the
engulfed
cell.
in ghostly flames. All right, and so it makes a Constitution saving throw, which they're actually relatively good at, but this is still a good spell. So, gets a 17 with his Constitution saving throw. So, but he's still going to take half damage. So roll
Cool.
your 2d10 radiant damage.
Ha.
7.
Okay. One thing you do notice though, as this happens, it takes that radiant damage, but the Earthbind spell fades as you cast a new concentration spell.
Okay.
All right. It is the troll's turn. He's going to first make his Constitution saving throw for the additional fire damage. And he rolls a 10. So how much more fire damage is that?
14. So 2d6.
Okay.
5.
All right. So you see as he as he takes this new fire damage, as he's still burning and roaring with pain, and you definitely see that this regeneration that he did is not happening now as he is burning. And then he's gonna shove you, Archie.
Okay.
So he is going to make an athletics check, and you make either athletics or acrobatics as he attempts to shove you off the edge.
Okay. Athletics.
He gets a 20. Not a critical, but a 20 with the bonus.
I've got good athletics. Is 6. 13.
He shoves you off the edge.
Oof.
Snap.
Whoa.
Falling down the hole.
Yep.
Beware the rhino.
I
So,
can use a
Danger hole.
what? So, all right.
Can I use a reaction?
Yes.
I cast Featherfall.
Mm.
That should give
So,
you some time.
so Archie, as you find yourself suddenly in free fall, tumbling down into the darkness, all of a sudden magical energy emanates from your companion, and you find
Whoa.
yourself now falling at a much safer speed. You feel like you could easily land safely at this speed, but you cannot actually arrest your fall at the moment. So you do not hit bottom yet on this turn, falling at this speed.
Thank you.
Now climb back up
Right.
quickly.
All right. So that was the troll's turn.
But did you do the moonbeam effect on it since it started its turn in the moonbeam?
Let's see. Interest starts. You know what? I'm looking at it now, and I think that
It doesn't do any initial damage, I think.
yeah. So I think the one
okay.
amount of damage we already did, that's the one. But
Gotcha,
on
okay.
its next turn, it will take it again if it doesn't move away.
Gotcha. So it doesn't do immediate damage. It does damage on in the start of its next turn.
Right. But it doesn't move. It didn't move this time because it shoved Archie. And then it's kind of turning to face Alaric, but it doesn't move. And so it'll take it again next time if you don't.
I think it does damage at the beginning and end. Like if you're there when it
It
starts
says
and at the end of your
when
turn.
it enters for the first time or starts its turn there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, if it moved into the space or is already there at the start of its turn. So, we would have done it now, except we already did it then when it was.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, all right. Alaric, it is your turn. You have just spared Archie a lot of falling damage,
A lot of pain.
but now you got a troll snarling down at you.
Oh, I'm gonna stand up.
All right. Make a dexterity check.
Maybe. Jeez. 7.
7. You find yourself slipping off the edge. You can make a dexterity saving throw.
Not likely.
I believe
Oh,
in you.
22.
22.
See?
You managed. You are able to grab the lip of this walkway and not fall.
Well, this is not what I meant to do.
All right, Archie, you are falling. You have not hit yet. You suspect you will maybe by the end of your turn, but if you want to try to do something while you're in midair.
Can I estimate is the distance to
You
the
have
lip?
dark vision, so you suspect that by the time you reach the bottom where you see a few ledges and water and a rhino, it will be about 80 feet below the.
So am I within, say, 30 feet now? Am I falling? Of
yeah,
the lip?
I'll say that you are.
Then I can use my bonus action to cast Misty Step
Yeah,
and poof back at the top.
nice. You land right on top of the altar. How about that? Standing.
So
Sweet.
And there's no running water over the altar, is there?
Nope.
Only safe place to stand.
Yeah.
Good choice.
So nice.
And then I'd like to hack and slash that troll.
Do it. I'll even give you advantage because the troll did not expect that to happen.
And Audrey, when you climb fast, you really climb fast.
That's our
First,
tiefling.
first attack is 17,
All right. 17 hits.
and second attack is 16.
Okay. Yeah, both of those hit.
I'm doing 4. 20 points of damage.
All right. As-
Slashing.
Yeah. As you hack and slash at this thing, you open up deep, lacerations on its back, and it's roaring in pain. And you can see it's still up, but it's not looking good. It's very bad right now.
Ooh. Am I? Oh yeah, my
On its
bonus
last
action
legs.
was.
Yeah. So
Bonus action was. So I can't juice
yeah.
it up.
So you could probably move if you wanted.
I'm good here.
All right. Andre's turn. She's gonna, fire another couple of arrows. No sense in waiting just to give you guys the finishing blow. Okay. So yeah, she actually is gonna hit with both of those arrows.
Double tap.
All right, and with the bolt as this thing is and just starting to turn to look back at you. And it goes limp and it falls over the edge. Tumbles.
well done, Andrew.
She says, "No sweat." How'd you do that, Archie?
I'd clap, but I've got both of my hands in use right now.
Oh, and Andrea actually kind of hops down, stepping just on the spots that are kind of above the surface, and holds out a hand to pull you up.
Brace yourself.
right. So we're no longer in initiative, and Estevan, who had been standing in the back, just goes, "Well done, everybody."
Yep.
All right. I would like to cast. Hold on, I think it takes
I'm-
10 minutes for me to cast Prayer of Healing. Yes,
Yeah.
guys.
Um,
Do you
I think
want to?
only Audrey is really hard.
yeah, I can heal my own damage for now if you want to save it.
Okay.
Oh, as a ritual though, it's free, huh?
No, prayer of
yeah.
healing
No.
it takes
Oh,
10
gotcha.
minutes to cast. It's not a ritual,
Okay.
though.
No, no, no. I'll go ahead and lay hands on myself and give myself 20 points.
All right.
In public?
Right. Yeah. You just want to say that too.
While standing
wanna
on the
go-
altar of a temple.
Exactly. After just beating the
Alright.
troll that was on it. Can I
He's
walk
just
down
trolling
and
him.
see if I can see the rhinoceros?
You even with
Maybe.
the dark vision granted you by these night goggles, you can't see far enough to see the bottom of this.
Okay.
Archie saw it while you were partway
Yeah,
down.
he's down there.
It kind of snorts like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
He's a
You hear
little
it echoing
frustrated.
from all the way down there.
Sheesh.
Sorry, I didn't have time to look for stairs or anything.
No, that's okay.
All right. What's
so-
next?
Now that you guys can take your time, I'll say that you don't have to make checks to try to go down the stairs since you're being very careful, but it's very precarious. And in fact, as Estevan kind of starts making his way in that direction, he's like, whoa, whoa, oh, okay, oh, okay, oh, okay.
Slippery.
Hey, it's your ring.
Okay, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, okay. Oh. And so he makes his way down to the altar, and he says,
Sure.
all right, it's time for the ritual now.
Oh, I guess you need this space, huh? I guess I'll hop down.
If you don't mind, and here he has to back way up so like to clear this narrow pathway. Excuse me, pardon me. So he is down there. And he says,
Before you get started, is this going to be more water coming through here? Should we be standing here?
well, I don't know precisely what Lake Elamon has in mind, but I don't think that he would punish us for performing the ritual in his name.
I mean, he almost swept us out
hope
several
not.
times while we were trying to help. So
Does anybody see any purple fisher or glowy thing? Just making sure we're not dealing with that
I
down
haven't
here.
noticed anything.
Estevan's like, what? What's that?
Have you seen
we're good.
anything that's purple or abnormally colored down here?
No.
no, that's good.
All right.
All right, so
I'm going to step kind of back up into the last room. Just be on the safe side.
Yeah, me too.
No, I'm fascinated. I want to
Okay.
be. I want to see
I'm
what's
kind
going
of
on.
curious.
All right.
Basically, this
yeah,
lake thing.
Andrew's
What's he
gonna,
gonna do there?
come back up here. Where,
I'll stay down and brace myself.
okay.
What's he gonna do?
All right. So he actually, now that you two are kind of down there, he says, if you are interested, I'm sure you could earn extra favor from the spirit if you were willing to participate in the ritual. I am prepared to do it
Sure.
myself if necessary.
So
Well,
what's
I'll
what
help.
do you
Let's
need
get it done.
Well, what's this all about?
Well, this is a consecration of the temple in the name of Lake Elamon, and for my own part, it is an offering of myself into Lake Elamon's service.
Well, I can't do that.
Nice.
I mean, I can help and all, but I'm not going to offer any of my service to anybody.
Well, no,
Amen.
that's your prerogative. I was just letting you know it's an option if you're interested.
Yeah, I ain't having no part of that. Mm-mm.
Nope.
I'm just going to watch.
Yeah, I've got my own obligations, but I'll hold anything you need.
Well, as there is a portion of the ritual that as I mentioned, I am prepared to do, but is perhaps easier done with a second pair of hands if you are willing.
Sure.
Very well.
Musical fancy, sure.
Good then. And so he steps up to the altar and he reaches from in his robes and he opens this like velvet bag and he unfurls it on the altar, and it has a few like very smooth river stones, and he kind of arranges those. There's a couple of crystals and a bit of what looks like maybe petrified wood, and there's also a fancy ornate dagger. And he sets it out, and he says,
Why the dagger, though, yo? Don't cut my friend.
do you say that?
I say, don't cut my friend.
Oh, of course not.
All right, we're watching. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Excuse me, a bit of emotion. I've been, mentally preparing for this for some time. It's
A lot of training, yeah.
exhilarating. Yes. To
wish I
finally
had a
be
bit.
here. All right then. Oh, Spirit of Lake Elamon, we have cleansed this temple once devoted to spirits of savagery and are now claiming it in your ancient name.
Cleansed.
Yes, and perhaps a new convert. We have defeated the troll that attempted to reclaim this temple in the name of lesser spirits, but now it will belong to you as it should, and as all things eventually will.
Well, that
And
sounds
now,
good, right?
and now I am
Right.
prepared to offer my own sacrifice in your service.
Wait, what? Sacrifice? Did he say sacrifice?
And
He said-
You did.
and so he clears away a little bit of his collar, and you see that he has these tattoos on the side of his neck, right here, like just a strange sort of line, one on each side. And he takes the dagger and he's offering it towards you, Otterkree, and he says, "Please, where each of these lines are,
Mhm.
plunge the dagger into my neck."
Whoa, you're nuts.
Okay. I'll grab the dagger and thrust it straight into his neck.
Oh my
Not
god,
quite so aggressively.
dude! I don't know if he was finished.
I don't
he's
think that's-
Oh,
pointing
the
at
other side,
one,
other
yeah.
side.
Oh jeez.
And he's bleeding profusely and kind of staggering back against the altar. And then he tumbles over the side into the hole.
Whoa.
But wait,
We
See,
lost him.
never trust a spirit that says they're older than Rushama. That's the lesson here. This is what happens.
Well,
supposed to do that?
every time we get involved with a religious thing, there's some weirdness. So I don't think we can just worry about that.
Can I react?
I'll,
Yeah.
I will cast Featherfall on him.
All right.
Aw, Snoopy, so sweet.
I
Yeah.
will
So
You okay?
reverently set the dagger back on the altar.
and so you you kind of, if you kind of peer over the edge, you see that you can see his form sort of descending slowly into the darkness at the bottom of this hole.
Well, at least
And
the
then
fall won't kill him.
yeah, and then you don't hear a splash really because he's falling slowly, but he reaches the bottom and goes under the water down there. And as that happens, you suddenly feel a tremor go throughout this whole temple, and the water starts rushing a little harder.
Getting
Not to
outta
the-
here.
It's not like pushing you guys harder, but you can feel that like the whole place is shaking a little bit, and you hear a rushing of water from this hole, and you hear water pouring up, shooting up through the hole until all of a sudden it's no longer a hole, but it's now been entirely flooded, and the water level has risen up to the top, and now you see just from sort of the shoulders up, floating in the in this water, you see Estevan with a blissful expression on his face, and you see now that the 2 knife wounds have become gills.
Ugh. It's not okay.
Lake Elamon has accepted my sacrifice. And then you guys actually see the mist that has sort of filled the air above the water level in this cavern starts to coalesce into a strange shape that looks almost like some sort of a fish floating in water, but just condensed, barely visible in the mist above it. And you hear a voice saying, "You have served me well, and I accept your sacrifice, priest. Delve deep, for you will return to me beneath the surface." And he goes, "Yes, yes, I will go now." And he dives under the water.
So we can just take your wagon then?
And then
Bye-bye.
this form turns to the rest of you, especially looking at you, Ottercree, and says, "You have done very well this day. To earn my gratitude, you and your companions have my leave to enter my domain."
Thank you.
Dissipates. Amethyst, you realize that your rhinoceros is kind of doing a weird sort of awkward doggy paddle in the water. Oh, that's not one. Yeah. All right. And as you kind of stand, this flow of water gradually stops, and so the floor is still kind of all wet, but it's no longer like a waterfall entering.
Can we get
Thank
out
you,
of
Great
here?
Elamond.
Yeah, I never really understood the saying before. That which makes you stronger also gills you.
All right. So you guys now no longer have any trouble making your way back up out of this temple, and I think that's where we're going to call it tonight.
You got a better wagon.
Upgrade.
Yeah. And you made a new friend.
Nira is not much of a fan.
They don't make you do that at the mountain, eh? Like, shove a rock in your eye or something.
No. I mean, mostly it's fine. I mean, I got hit by lightning, but
Wait. Okay.
that's not normal. Not normal. Not a normal thing.
It's pretty cool.
What's normal anymore?
Let's get out of here.
Andrew's like, well, I mean, it was kind of gross, but it seemed like it worked.
Huh?
Yeah.
Apparently did what he wanted it to, so I guess happy for him?
I'm not so sure about that whole, and the domain of everything will be yours, or whatever the hell
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
definitely not
Oh,
okay with that.
It's coming back to haunt us for sure.
Yeah.
This will take some time, It is just a lake.
In the chat, Paulette says, another awesome episode. You guys are truly heroes of legend.
Oh,
Curtsy.
Don't believe the legends all the time.
thought you'd be taller.
Right?
All right, so now you have been introduced to the spirit of Lake Elmon. For better or worse.
Yay. Good job, guys.
Yay! So before we close the episode, I want to just let everybody know, I think probably you guys all know already, but for Extra Life this year, which is a 24 hours of gaming for charity thing, what I'm going to be doing is running 24 hours worth of D&D over 2 days.
Woohoo!
10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on November 4th and November 5th. I'm going to be running the Tomb of Annihilation module. And so I will be putting a link to my So Many Levels campaign. We got a So Many Levels team there on the site. And if you'd like to pledge, it goes for a good cause. I've got some pledge rewards in there. I'm interested in hearing more pledge reward ideas. If you guys have something that you could think of that's like, oh, well, wouldn't it be cool if there was a reward that was X? Let me know. Maybe we can make that happen. We also potentially looking for players to fill in a slot. We don't necessarily need every player to be able to do the full 24 hours. If you want to sign up for a time slot, let me know that too, and we'll figure it out. So
Cool.
there will be a link to more details in the notes. In the meantime, the adventure continues on so many levels.
Woo!